Hello everyone and welcome to the 2021 Daily Reporter Hard Hat Safety Awards. I'm Joe Jovino, the Associate Publisher of the Daily Reporter, and I know what you're thinking. And the answer is yes, my wife has been cutting my hair during the pandemic. Wait, what does that say? Make an opening joke to gain the trust of audience members. Oh, well then check. But seriously folks, this event last year was our first ever virtual event. And while at the time, we never thought we would be having our second annual virtual hard hat safety event, we're excited to celebrate these important awards with you today. We're glad you could join us as we shine a spotlight on the excellent work done by the 12 honorees you'll meet in a bit. Each of them has a great story to tell, and we're glad to tell it. Founded in 2019, the Hard Hat Safety Awards is an annual awards program dedicated to telling the great safety stories of the Wisconsin building and design industries. It isn't about the companies that have the most intricate safety plans or the most exemplary safety records. While some of those exist within this group of honorees, this event is more focused on telling the most compelling safety stories across the AEC industries, especially at a time when safety is at a premium. Between the AGC, ABC, and OSHA, there are plenty of awards programs that take a deep dive into the metrics behind your safety plans. While we're in full support of all those programs, in contrast, these Hard Hat Safety Awards aim to tell the stories of how you've built your safety culture within your organization, have responded to adversity, and designed structures and implemented materials to keep workers and the public safe, all while working through a pandemic, so we congratulate you. Ultimately, we aim to tell the stories of how you've used the power of your organizations and industries to fight for that ever important cause, making sure that workers go home safe to their families each night, and continue building the essential structures and infrastructure that our communities need. It's our hope that you'll walk away from today with new policies or programs to implement within your company. If nothing else, we hope this event serves as a reminder that there is a direct correlation between safety, health, and wellness and your bottom line. And right after today's awards presentation, we'll also have an informative panel discussion with safety managers from the ABC and AGC. Before we get on to our awards program, I'd like to thank our ever-important program sponsors. Their support makes today's program possible, and we couldn't do it without them. Thank you first to our gold sponsor, Hooper Corporation. Thank you to Hooper President Steve Lindley and the crew at the Madison-based electric power and mechanical contractor. Thank you also to our silver sponsors, JF Ahern and Cornerstone Construction. Thank you to both companies for their generous sponsorship. And finally, thanks to our bronze sponsor, Staff Electric. Like I said, we couldn't hold these events without the support of the sponsors, and we appreciate your partnerships. And now, let's meet this year's 12 Hard Hat Safety Award winners and listen to their inspiring stories. As a reminder, please feel free to comment generously in the section on the right of your screen and cheer on your nominees. And now, our first honoree is Cornerstone Construction.
2020 was a milestone year for Cornerstone Construction in that it ended with 0 lost time accidents and 0 recordable injuries. They are very proud of that success and of all the hard work that everyone puts into the safety program and culture. On a recent project, the scope of work included installing 8 arches in a wall. They worked closely with the manufacturer to understand the engineered handling and installation instructions. It was decided to treat it as a critical pick task, due to the complexity of the process as well as the long lead time needed should one of the pieces be damaged. A site-specific rigging plan was developed, which included refresher training as well as a pre-lift meeting where they engineered lifting diagrams, rigging calculations, load charts, an emergency response plan, and more with the entire crew. Crews were able to install 3 arches per day without injury and in record time.
Hello folks, my name is Mike Bales. I'm the Safety Director and Operations Director here at Cornerstone Construction out of Janesville. On behalf of all of us here at Cornerstone, I'd like to say thank you to Daily Reporter for the recognition in this award. Safety is our #1 priority. We would not be able to receive this recognition without all the hard work and dedication from our teams in the field. So thank you.
Congratulations, Cornerstone Construction. Our next Hard Hat Safety honoree is Hooper Corporation.
Hooper Corporation is proud to have collectively worked more than 3.5 million hours with no lost time due to injury. This includes efforts from both their mechanical and electric power divisions, as well as subsidiary companies General Heating and Air Conditioning and Premier Energy Services. Hooper Corporation recently completed the 225-mile Great Northern Transmission Line that winds its way from Grand Rapids, Minnesota to Winnipeg, Manitoba. Approximately 80% of the route was classified as a wetland and required a specialized safety plan. Due to the terrain, helicopters were utilized for many aspects of construction. Electrical transmission and distribution is regarded as one of the most hazardous jobs in the country. Time after time, situational awareness helps identify potential hazards. Employees are encouraged and rewarded for making the appropriate safety adjustments and sharing those lessons learned with colleagues.
Hi, I'm Steve Lindley, President of Hooper Corporation. I want to thank the Daily Reporter for honoring us with this award. Safety is the most important core value at Hooper Corporation and critical to our success. I'm so proud of our team of skilled craft workers, safety and management professionals. They work hard and collaborate every day to create and maintain a strong safety culture rooted in continuous improvement. That's the foundation of everything we do. We appreciate the fact that others outside of our organization see this as well. We all truly appreciate this award. Thank you.
Congratulations to Hooper. Our next honoree is J.F. Ahern.
At JF Ahern, getting frontline, shop and field, contract and service employees' attention for web-based training is challenging but necessary. A strategy was developed to get this group to engage on a voluntary basis with remote training. The targeted training series was branded Hidden Hazards, the things we miss, look past, or accept. The series had 4 sessions, and each focused on a service-related injury event that was analyzed to identify associated hidden hazards of the work being performed. A unique shared learning approach was utilized with a combination of employee interviews, videos, interactive polling, and immediately actionable improvements. Open to all field employees, the series tripled the average attendance of monthly trainings. JF Ahern not only changed the way they train employees, but also has created a real-time, systematic improvement process.
Congratulations to J.F. Ahern. Our next honoree is Bob Kreen from Hunzinger Construction.
Bob Kreen is the on-site safety coordinator for Hunzinger Construction Company, building 2 new distribution and warehouse centers for Uline in Kenosha. This massive project involves development of the 110-acre site to include stormwater management, grading and infrastructure upgrades, new site utilities, and paving. In addition to the helicopter lifts on the project, there are over a dozen different cranes on site. On such a large project, it's not just fighting the elements, protecting everyone from COVID, and the continual breakdown of your body and joints. It's the mental challenges of building exactly what is on the plans and pointing out errors to make sure the construction is done right. The proof of success is in the results. Hunzinger is working into their 4th full year without a single recordable injury. It's a challenging position, and Bob has done a fantastic job and is an asset to the industry.
Here at Hunzinger, safety is priority number 1.
And today, we're celebrating Bob and his award for the Hard Hat Safety Awards.
And for his commitment to safety at Hunzinger.
Congratulations, Bob, on your Hard Hat Safety Award.
I want to thank the Daily Reporter and Hunzinger for the opportunity, tools, and support that I received to be a safety coordinator.
Congratulations to Bob and Hunzinger. Our next Hard Hat Safety honoree is Mortensen.
Mortensen incorporates safety into their culture every day and every minute. Mortensen's Zero Injury program is the backbone of their safety philosophy. There is a weekly presentation that focuses on safety trends, safety highlights, and 5S and lean practices. All team members are required to attend 2 orientations that focus on injury culture and extensive safety training. Each job site has specific safety culture plans that include integrated crew sponsors. Project planning consists of high-risk activity planning, integrated work planning, and daily pre-task planning, and the Take 2 initiative to manage change during the workday. The approach is based on the expectation that all hazardous conditions, near misses, and injuries can be eliminated through the implementation of behavior obligations of all team members, because one more injured worker is simply an unacceptable outcome.
On behalf of the whole Mortensen team, I'd like to thank everyone for this safety award. Being recognized for a safety achievement during a world pandemic is something we're truly humbled with. Building safe is always challenging in our industry, but this past year has definitely tested the resilience of our people. Nonetheless, I couldn't be prouder of our team members, our craft workers, and every trade partners that showed up on our job sites every day with the mindset to work together to maintain a great safety culture on our job sites. Through hard work and personal commitment, we achieved one of our safest years in the industry. And for this reason, this award is even more meaningful to us. Thank you again.
Congratulations, Mortensen. Our next Hard Hat Safety Award winner is Riley Construction.
Riley Construction has several aspects to their safety plan that aid in accident prevention. Their safety culture is always growing and expanding to accommodate new challenges with a flexible outlook. Safety awareness talks are utilized where field leaders share weekly topics with their crew and inform them of potentially dangerous scenarios, and crew member attendance is tracked. Potential safety hazards are also discussed at kickoff meetings scheduled at the beginning of each project. Before any high-risk work activity has been started, a pre-install meeting is scheduled for everyone to discuss the logistics and potential risks involved. At Riley, continuous communication between crew members, field leaders, project managers, and their senior field safety specialist leads to a culture that integrates safety every step of the way.
Congratulations to the crew at Riley. Our next safety award winner is the company Sanomatic.
The Sanomatic way is about being better than good. It's about being the best. The foundation for being the best comes from great people in a safe and healthy culture. Sanomatic is always looking for ways to provide a better and safer environment for everyone in their facility. Their previous facility did not have any form of dust collection. At their new facility, they wanted to improve air quality and housekeeping. After doing research and having their dust tested, Sanomatic purchased 16 wet dust collectors. These provide a clear atmosphere and higher air quality, and most of all, a better breathing area for grinders. The dust collectors blow air across the operator's work area, creating an environment where dust masks or respirators are not required. These dust collectors take away 95% of all breathable particulates in the air, creating a better environment for everyone in the building.
On behalf of the team here at Sanomatic, we would like to say thank you to the Daily Reporter and congratulations to the 2021 Hard Hat Safety Award winners. We are very honored to accept this award. We are glad that we could share our safety story of implementing 16 new wet dust collection systems in our facility. Through our continuous improvement efforts, we identified the need to mitigate dust accumulation, respirable dust, and general housekeeping. Through much research and hard work, our safety team, leadership, and input from employees greatly improved our facility air quality and environment. Thanks again for this honor, and to all the award winners. Focus on safety and do what is right.
Congratulations to Sanomatic. Our next honoree is Kyle Schultz from Mortensen.
Kyle Schultz consistently leads with a quiet confidence to get things done efficiently with a continuous focus on safety. With over a decade of experience on the Mortensen team, he has been a steadfast supporter of Mortensen's safety culture and has been committed to serving as a leader within every crew he works with. He has been an active, positive mentor for craft workers who are new to the industry. With hazards on every project, Kyle proactively works to manage and improve the environment for both Mortensen workers and workers from subcontractor partners. He continuously shares his innovative thoughts and ideas to make projects safer through Mortensen's Innovation Challenge. Kyle is a servant leader who does the right thing even when management isn't watching. Each day, he stands out because he works safely not only for himself, but for every worker on the project.
My name is Kyle Schultz. I've been with Mortensen for over 10 years. I want to thank everyone for this safety award. When I was asked about how I feel about safety, it was hard for me to answer because safety isn't something I really think about. It's just something I do. It's become like a second nature to me because I don't want anyone or myself to get hurt and be in that situation. So I just want to say thank you again. This is really cool.
Congratulations, Kyle and the team at Mortensen. Our next honoree is Staff Electric.
Staff Electric likes to acknowledge the efforts of those who help cultivate a safety-first culture. Their safety incentive program includes both individual and project-specific safety incentives. Employees can earn safety points by demonstrating safe work practices. The points count towards raffle tickets for the safety drawing held annually. In 2020, the organization raffled off nearly 80 prizes, ranging from tools and electronics to PPE. Top point earners in each office are rewarded with one special prize. The program is unique because it rewards positive behavior, but does not punish those who are injured or receive a safety violation. This empowers workers to be safety conscious and prevents them from being tempted to hide safety or injury-related information. The purpose is to supplement safety program efforts by rewarding and recognizing individuals who demonstrate the motto, "Powered by Safety."
Hello, my name is Michael Constable here at Staff Electric. I'm the Health Safety Risk Manager, and I just want to reach out and thank the Daily Reporter for recognizing Staff Electric and all the hard work we put into implementing our safety incentive program. It took a lot of work from a lot of people, and it feels good to be recognized. It couldn't have been done without the excellent leadership from our executive team and support from my staff here at Staff Electric. Corey, Lynn, Lisa, Brett, thank you for all the hard work you do. When we were updating our safety program, we thought, what could we do to take the safety program to the next level and the safety culture next level? So we came up with a safety incentive that awards people for their positive behavior instead of punishes them for their negative behavior. And it's giving excellent results. So new year, new goals. Let's keep being powered by safety. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations to Staff Electric. Our next honoree is Aaron Strady from J.H. Findorf & Son.
Aaron Strady of J.H. Findorf & Son can be credited with the foresight to act quickly. The end of March and early April in 2020 caught everyone off guard because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Many in the industry feared that construction would be shut down due to the lack of sanitary solutions on job sites, mainly hand wash stations. Badgerland Disposal rents and services portable sanitary stations. Due to the demand and lack of inventory nationwide, there was a huge problem finding these units. If it were not for Aaron Strady seeing the threat early and working with Badgerland Disposal to identify when and where hand-washing stations were most needed to keep construction going, they would not have been fortunate enough to get inventory in time to likely prevent hundreds if not thousands of cases of COVID-19 throughout the construction industry during the peak construction season.
Congratulations, Aaron and the group at J.H. Findorf. Our next honoree is Chris Urich from Walbeck Group.
Safety programming is a moving target and always changing. The Walbeck Group's safety team, led by Chris Urich, continually looks for new ways to be engaging. Lookbooks offer pocket-sized reminders to keep safety practices top of mind. From questions to engage the crews to evaluate their safety and quality, to stretches to perform at startup. In addition, every team member receives a safety commitment coin. The coin is a physical reminder of each individual's commitment to working safe, keeping others safe, and working together to go home at the end of each shift. Team members can also present the coin to another worker to pause work for any safety concern. All related work must stop until the safety concern is addressed. Chris's leadership has been by example. His team is considerate of one another, collaborates in a respectful manner, and encourages each other to always give their best.
I'm very grateful for the Daily Reporter recognizing me for this award. I'd like to extend a thank you to the senior leadership team at the Walbeck Group. Without their continued support and involvement in our safety program, our culture would not be where it is today. But most importantly, and most sincerely, I'd like to say thank you to the safety team and all the employees of the Walbeck Group. Without their commitment towards safety, and without us all working together, none of this would have been possible today. And without their efforts to generate and build the safety culture we have, it wouldn't have been possible without their commitment. So thank you very much.
Congratulations, Chris and the crew at the Walbeck Group. Our final honoree today is the Wisconsin State Capitol Dome Repairs Project, performed by J.P. Cullen.
Safety and risk identification are integrated into every operation at J.P. Cullen, and this was fully on display in the Wisconsin State Capitol Dome project. The project consisted of dome repairs, joint removal, and sealant operations. There were several challenges as the dome did not allow for traditional scaffold, the worksite was several hundred feet above grade, and the work was being performed during a rise in civil unrest. A drone was used in the initial survey, reducing the time workers would need to rope rappel by 50%. To complete some of the repairs, a combination of scaffolding and rope rappelling was utilized. Having a trained and certified rope rescue team and access technicians made the work almost routine. In addition, because of silica hazards, necessary PPE was obtained. And when it was identified that not all would be used, the team was able to get filters and respirators back to those that needed them.
I guess it's pretty cool that we got nominated for this award. So thank you for the newspaper for the opportunity to get it. It was a pretty cool project, and I'm just really happy that we got out of it. Everyone's safe, no injuries, nothing. Got a happy customer, and the Capitol looks pretty good. So we got that going for us. It was a pretty interesting project. Tony came up with a good plan for the safety part of it. We knew going into it, it was going to be a kind of a doozy. And just throughout the entire thing, we just kept refining what we were doing every day and making sure we just kept doing it better, safer, and just making sure that the guys and the team was safe. I mean, if you think about it from soup to nuts, all the guys in the yards, the guys, the support elements we had, the masons and the caulkers out on the scaffolds, we had the labor foremen, they were all over the place. We had the guys on the ground. We had, there's just it makes for good photography having a couple of guys on ropes and that kind of stuff rappelling, but really it was a full team effort. It wasn't just like Tony and us coming up with a plan for safety. You have to drink it in, you have to do it, and you have to believe in it every day. And that's really why it was so successful, because without people actually having the safety culture and in actively doing it, we could have had problems, and we didn't. So it's just a testament to the team.
Again, I'd like to thank the Daily Reporter for the award and the nomination. It's an honor, and it is an honor to work on the state capitol. And our number one priority going into this job was the safety, because we're working at height, close to 300 feet above grade. The wind environment's different up there every day. And the first thing is just to minimize the risk. So between Mark and I, we came up with a plan to do a survey with the drone before we got on the building and started doing the rappelling. And that we were able to target our focus on the rappelling and limit our exposure. And then we came up with a safety plan for doing all our rope work. Got the whole team involved. Good support from our corporate, from our safety director. And like I said, it's just focused just every day, go over the safety, make sure we check and double check. Just all the fall protection. Anytime we were rappelling, we always had like an extra belay line. So, 2 points of tie off. The scaffolds, worked out good with the COVID, because we were able to spread out, we were outdoors, top of the building. We had one person on a scaffold, quarter points, basically working our way around the dome. So the crew was able to stay apart. So we didn't have any reports of COVID on the job, but if we had, everybody was isolated, so we wouldn't lose the whole crew to that. So
Congratulations to the crew at JP Cullen for your excellent work on the Capitol Dome project. And that concludes the 2021 Daily Reporter Hard Hat Safety Awards. Congratulations to all the honorees, and keep up the great work. We thank you all for sharing your stories and for placing an importance on safety as the cornerstone of everything you do. If you know of someone who would like this presentation but wasn't able to attend, don't worry, we'll make the recording available in the coming days. Look out for an email with those details. Also, the company's individuals and projects you just heard about will be featured in Friday's issue of the Daily Reporter. And now let's move on to the second part of today's program with our safety panel discussion with ABC of Wisconsin Human Resources and Safety Director Don Moen and AGC of Greater Milwaukee Director of Safety and Health Dan Barazin. Moderating today's panel is our very own Managing Editor Dan Shaw. Dan, take it away.
All right. Well, thanks, Joe. And thanks to everyone who's joining us here for our hard hat safety panel this year. Of course, pretty extraordinary circumstances. We have a lot to talk about with this pandemic this year. With me, just as last year, we have the same guests returning. We have Dan Barazin, who is Safety Director for the Associated General Contractors of Greater Milwaukee. And also we have Don Mullen, Safety and Human Resources Director for the Associated Builders and Contractors of Wisconsin. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it. Hoping that, hoping the day isn't too far in the future when we get to do this in person again. But here we are with Zoom, and we'll make the best of it. So of course the big topic on everybody's minds continues to be the coronavirus pandemic. So I thought we would start with talking about that. Here we are, almost a year out since it started, and almost a year out since the governor declared construction an essential business and allowed the industry to continue working more or less as it had been before, obviously with some modifications. But the consensus seems to be that the industry has handled this responsibility pretty well and has kept everyone safe. Why do you think the industry has been so successful at staying safe during the coronavirus pandemic? I don't know which
well, I guess, Dan, I could start here, and you can take it from there. I think as we look at our industry as a whole, construction is, as a start, is a business of relationships to begin with. And we're seeing that the strongest companies are the ones that can embrace the need for greater cooperation amongst all the stakeholders on the job site and working together. And I think us, along with other industries, we're going to see greater results if we seek out more collaboration amongst everybody and working together as you look at that. And I think that's the one strength we have in construction that has helped us as we put policies and procedures together that we talked about. Dan and I had talked about last fall as you look at that. And I think the more our companies and our member companies in the construction industry on a whole can leverage each other, I think we're going to see greater strengths for the tough situations like this that we're in. And not only is it going to start with, safety, and that always is the starting point. It's protecting the most valuable asset, and that's how construction looks at it, and that it's employees. But it's going to move now into what we're finding out, fixing the supply chain also, which gets out of the safety issue. But it's going to be working together as a group with that. So I think it's those intangibles that have been with us in construction for such a long time that has helped us become successful in the policies and the procedures that we put in place.
Yeah. Dan, do you have anything else to add to that?
I think Don pretty much nailed it. He mentioned collaboration and cooperation and working with each other. That was the first thought I had was construction tends to be a team-oriented industry. We're all in this together. You hear that on television all the time. But truly on a construction site, we are all in this together, and the team concept has really helped us out. The industry also, let's face it, our industry is made up of individuals, and it's made up of concerned individuals, and we're concerned for each other, not only on the team, but for each other's, families and their personal lives. So we don't want to see anything happen, because we do see that happening in some of the other areas of our existence. But one thing I think we do have, not so much unique, but fairly unique to the construction industry, is that we can tend to keep our distance from each other. There are some tasks involved where we have to be near each other, and we truly try to address those with barriers, making sure that people are paying attention to where they are and what they're doing. But because of the nature of construction being a lot of it being outside, a lot of it being at a distance, we can actually help ourselves out that way. So that kind of helps us in the unique environment that we do have. So all of those things put together, I think we're doing a great job in the industry. I think we'll continue to do that great job.
Are any of those things that you're talking about best practices that you think can be exported to other industries? Have you been approached by anyone from other companies or representatives of other industries who had questions about how is it that you guys are doing so well in construction, and how can we use you guys as an example and reproduce what you're doing?
Well, as Dan had said, we've always been our industry, a group of team players as we get together, and we're construction people. And we're always looking at not only how can we build this job safer and more efficient, but now with the added burden of the last year, how can we build it safer? And we have people looking at different scrubber systems that we can put on the job sites, control airflow as we're looking at that, looking at CO levels and monitoring those a little differently to look at airflow. So I think I don't want to call it the engineering maybe in us, but it's looking at what are added features from the distancing that Dan talked about, the sanitation procedures and that, but are there other things that we can make the job trailer better at, or can we increase efficiency or flow in the building? Now, a lot of our buildings for a long period of time are open, which helps out, but there are times when they get closed up, and now in the wintertime. And, knock on wood, we're still seeing, and I know Dan is too, seeing good results with closing up the buildings and our people following rules and regulations, which says a lot to me about our people in our industry, because the thing I hear a lot from a lot of industries is the coronavirus fatigue. It's been with us a long time now. And, people are having to wear masks a long time, having to do this and that. But, it's the training and in construction, we're used to doing all types of training, from safety training to other, on a daily basis, doing our morning huddles and just talking about that, reinforcing that. And I think the thing other industries will find out following the lead of construction that I've seen, and I know Dan has seen this too, is this last year has turned a lot of managers and foremen into leaders because of the situation, and they had to lead. And I think it's going to build a stronger workforce for us in construction, and a lot of the other industries can take that lead also.
Yeah, that kind of unless you wanted anything to add there, Dan.
Yeah, no, again, we see the same things that Don and his groups see. One thing, construction, engineering, and things like those disciplines, we're always curious, and we're always trying to learn more about our industry, about how we can do it better, how we can do it safer. And I'll give you one example. Don kind of hit it on the head with the interior stuff and ventilation and scrubbers and things like that. You're not only concerned about coronavirus, you're concerned about a lot of things these guys are breathing in an enclosed area. So we're looking at air exchangers and the like. Technology is really in the last year, I can't believe how much new things have come out to help us do our job better. And our job, Don and our job is to put that word out to our members and put that word out into the construction industry so we can share. We always say there are no secrets in safety. We share information constantly with each other and with our folks. And I think that's really something that other industries can really take away from construction, is never stop learning. There's always better ways of doing something. Keep searching for those better ways.
Yeah. Well, talking about all these safety precautions leads to my next question. Do you see these things staying in place the rest of this year and possibly into next year, or possibly indefinitely even, because they're just better ways of doing things? Or do you think some of this will start to be rolled back maybe in the fall and the winter if predictions about vaccine distribution hold true?
Yeah.
Go ahead, take this.
Yeah,
one.
I think. Okay. Yeah, I think as you look at it, I don't foresee any quick changes to any of this. I would say, as we move into the spring and the summer months, a lot of the policies and procedures that we have in place will probably stay in place. I think there will be some, we've learned a lot of lessons here in the past year, and a lot of them that can help us down in the future as far as sanitation, as far as how we handle the groupings of people and things like that. So I think some of this will stay with us. But I don't foresee until, vaccinations increase. And in our talk with the Department of Health, I don't foresee construction, or we don't anyway, being in line for the corona shot, until end of March into April at the soonest. Even though we are essential workers, essential doesn't always mean the same when it comes to, getting the virus shot as you get into that. And so I don't know, and Dan may agree or disagree with that. I don't foresee a lot of the procedures we have in place currently changing here in the next, 6 to potentially 9 months as you look at that. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know if it will.
I'm in agreement with you, Don. Especially on the larger sites, the larger contractors. This is going to go on. It's going to carry over. It may not be as critical once everybody's been inoculated, but it still will go on. There are some there are some benefits that we've learned from all this that will carry through. I mean, let's face it. How many cases of the flu have you heard about, and some of the other things that that are usually out there this time of year? A lot of that stuff is either quieted because of the publicity about coronavirus, but let's face it, a lot of people are taking industrial or personal hygiene. Industrial hygiene has been taken to a new level. And I see a lot more of that sticking with us because it can keep our people, healthy and on the job and be able to do their thing. So yes, I see especially with the larger ones. We have all kinds of sizes of companies. Some are a little bit more advanced than others. But you will see with the larger firms, and it'll trickle down to the smaller firms, that yes, a lot of this stuff will stick with us.
Yeah, and that leads right into my next question, because we were just talking about vaccines and when they might start showing up for construction workers. One big question right now before lawmakers is, will employers be able to require employees be vaccinated before they go on to job sites? Of course, there's a debate going on in Madison right now about where the line should be drawn there. Whether employers should have that authority or not to require vaccination. But what are you guys hearing from your members? Do you think that regardless of what happens in Madison, if there is actually a law requiring it or not, do you think most of them are going to insist on vaccination for most of their employees?
I'll give you my opinion, and Dan, you can shoot in yours. We just had a webinar on our HR side here a couple of days ago, and that was one of the talks that we had with a couple of attorneys. And I don't foresee our industry mandating it. I foresee our industry emphasizing and promoting it and wanting everybody to. There are a lot of legal implementations to forcing everybody to, and we don't need to get into that litany of things that happens there. I think our industry is going to promote it and promote it strongly. I think you're going to see companies maybe give bonuses or something if people get it, but I don't think overall, in my opinion, you're going to see anybody mandate it at this point in time. I could be wrong, but there's just a lot of legal things out there right now that are sort of saying, "Hey, let's emphasize it. Let's really promote it and promote the positive reasons for taking the virus." But in reality, at this point in time, making it an individual's decision.
Yeah, Don, I'm when I think of that question, is anybody looking at mandate? I don't see, I haven't heard of anybody that's going to say you must have it in order to come to work. That doesn't eliminate the possibility of a client requiring it. For example, if you're working on an Aurora project or a pro health project at a hospital or clinic project where they may ask for that. I mean, we see that with a lot of the other inoculations for tuberculosis and whatnot. When you're in the medical field and you're doing construction there, but I don't. Right at this time, like Don says, there's way too much legalese involved here. Until that all shakes out, I don't think our contractors are going to mandate it. Again, they'll encourage it, will encourage it. There's still a lot of research that has to be done on that. This is relatively new, and we want to make sure we have all the knowledge we can before we start telling people, yes, you must, or we highly encourage it, or whatever. So you got to tread lightly here. There's a lot of legalese and privacy rights and things like that. So we have to be careful.
Yeah. Have you guys heard from any of your members about, are any of their employees already being vaccinated, or is it still pretty rare?
I have not heard of any of our people. That doesn't mean they're not. I mean, my wife's an RN and she can get it, and we have to stand in line like everybody else, and there's going to be some people that need it a heck of a lot more than we do, but we'll get there. But I haven't heard of people. They may have family members that have gotten it, or maybe because of working in a certain situation or working with a family member, maybe they have to get it, but not normally otherwise. I don't know about you, Don.
No, the same with us, Dan. We haven't heard of anybody getting the shots. We have had members call wanting to know if we're going to be on a list and when that potentially could be, just to sort of work it into their process this spring. But I've not heard of anybody getting the shots at this point in time.
Yeah, that's what I figured you'd say. Similar experiences for other industries. Well, next question is, I guess it ties into the way we're doing this webinar right now, or this panel discussion. Doing it through Zoom, and I have to imagine. For you guys, a lot of the training courses that you had offered in person before, because construction is such a hands-on industry, a lot of times you want to have people doing things, but because of the pandemic, probably have at least some courses moved online. How is that going? Is it difficult to teach some of this online, especially when you lose that hands-on element?
You're trying to teach an old dog new tricks here, as far as my experience. When I do training and myself, I can only speak for myself. I'm relatively animated when I do my training, so it's very difficult to transfer that over to a Zoom meeting or a Microsoft Teams or what have you. And the hardest part as a trainer for that is to learn the new system. Once you learn the new system, it's not so bad. We still do in-person training. We have requests for that, and so what we're really trying, we've actually set up requirements and rules, and our training's facility at our offices is small. So we have to cut way back on how many people can come to training. We do have requirements for face, coverings, and we have this, the hand sanitizers, and we clean the room every time before we have a class. And so we still do in person, but a lot of what I'm doing is not only in person, but I'm sharing my screen on Zoom. So we do have people taking it, online, along with the in-person training. So it's whatever the member or the contractor really feels is best for him. But we will require certain things to occur before we, let's face it, you have to be busy. You have to be diligent on what you're doing. You can't just be cavalier about it. You have to really pay attention to what you got, and we put one person at a table, or we keep them apart, and it does work. It seems to work. It's a little bit of a challenge, but it works. It's working out.
Yeah, we're done.
Right. I agree with Dan. We've done both, but we haven't stopped doing on-site or in-person training. It has changed dramatically, as Dan had stated. We have protocols in place about the number of people that can be in a room, and the spacing, where you got to have your 6+ foot spacing, mask, hand sanitizer, sanitizing the room, things like that. All that is in place in the protocols prior to doing the hands-on training in those areas. So, we've done a lot this since January already with our member companies. That we've done multiple trainings because the numbers have to be reduced so much. Just one, depending on the county you're in, and two, depending on what the maximum number you can have in that building with the spacing and everything else. We also do virtual training, and as Dan said, it's a little bit different. I think as people go on, not only for us as the speaker, but for our attendees also, it's different for them as they're sitting back there. They prefer the live animated, talks that a lot of us safety people get into as we do that. But I think it does work to a limit. I wouldn't want a whole breakfast, lunch, and dinner full of them, but I think a mix, and we're going to be seeing that. And I think you're going to see it in the future, as you look at that. If you look at percentages, I was just reading an article of people, working at home and doing virtual stuff as you look at it. And before this pandemic came into play, it was about 7%. This past year, it boosted up to about 35%. And right now, since November, it's been hovering around 23%. So I think this whole virtual thing, and for some people, the training also will probably continue for some period down the road. I mean, like Dan, if I had my wishes and Santa Claus was good to me, it would be live. I'm just that type of person. And maybe Dan, it's our age, I don't know, but we're used to that, and it's been very successful as you get into that. And I really hope that things change soon, that we can get back to a little bit larger numbers. But again, just like Dan, if we're going to do live training, protocols have to be in place, and we have to be strict on the protocols and how they are for everybody's safety.
Okay. Yeah, that's same thing here to a lesser extent, but obviously setting up events online is less preferable than to having them in person, and we're looking forward to the day when we can meet you guys in person again, shake your hands, all that sort of thing. So much as is true for the national discussion, coronavirus takes up a lot of the time. But before we leave here, I just wanted to ask you guys what other big safety topics you've seen out there recently. Is there anything we overlooked? Are there any trends that are coming up that are maybe tangentially related to coronavirus without being directly related?
I think moving away a little bit from the virus, if that's all right.
Yeah.
To do when you're looking at it. We just had one of our partnership meetings with OSHA and looked at, what do they foresee down the road or what's been happening? Because, the past sort of tells us a little bit about the future as we look at it. I think, and Dan will probably agree, if you look at two big areas, no matter what, if we're going to protect our construction workers to the level we need to, we really got to focus on falls, number one, which is big. That's the largest area that kills and injures construction workers. Now, here in Wisconsin, knock on wood, we've been very fortunate with fatalities and a limited number, but we do have them. So looking at the falls area, another big area is trenching and excavation. For whatever reason, that seems to have spiked a little bit in that area. And I know on a national basis, OSHA is putting a lot of emphasis on that as we get into those areas. So those are two big ones. I always say, you look at the Focus 4, as you look at OSHA, they have a lot of data and they know what injures and kills construction workers. So, the Focus 4s are your falls, your struck bys, your caught in betweens, and your electrocutions. Those are the four big areas. And I think that's going to stay the same going into 2021. I think another big area, though, in Wisconsin that we're going to see here in 2021 is going to be what we call WOF, or worker on foot and equipment. In the road building area, and Dan probably knows this better than all of us. We've had a few fatalities with people using cell phones or iPhones, walking behind trucks. And, this past fall, we had a couple of fatalities with trucks backing over people that weren't attentive to what they were doing. As you look at that, up in Fox Valley, we had a forklift back over a person too, as you went into that. And then in the Madison area, just heard here a week or so ago, we had another forklift tip over that had a man basket on and killed another person. So I think those things, when you look at equipment and people, along with the Focus 4s, are going to be big. My personal opinion is we're going to see an added emphasis on silica out on job sites. My personal opinion is in the last, 18, 24 months, sites have dramatically improved in the whole silica thing. I mean, I'm just amazed at some sites now, or a lot of sites, when it comes to controlling the silica. But I think that's going to be another emphasis here in 2021. So those are some of the things that I see. I don't know, Dan, what you're thinking?
Yeah, falls and trenching are big hot topics with OSHA. They all they have to do is drive by, and if they see something, they're going to pull in and check it out. So those are on their hit list, pretty high. But when I think about coronavirus has taken up a lot of the front page, if you will, of a lot of our contractors. But we can't forget what Don has mentioned, but also I'd like to add to that. We're finding a lot of issues because of winter construction. We're finding a lot of issues with the silica, obviously, and making sure that we are paying attention to the table that OSHA gives us on silica, which is actually they're asking for more information on that, because right now they're asking to, maybe either expand it or tweak it a little bit to help our contractors. Let's face it, there's not a lot of operations that we do, or they've missed a lot of operations that we actually do that should be on that table to guide contractors with silica. But silica is a big one. And also, I've always called industrial hygiene or health-related issues the redheaded stepchild of construction, because we always think about falls and trenching and PPE and all that stuff, but rarely do we think about what we're breathing in. And coronavirus kind of put that at the top of our list. But in addition to silica, we are seeing a number of things with heat in construction, and namely propane. And we want to make sure that people are handling those flammable materials properly, because we did have an accident here recently in the Milwaukee area, with flammables, and we need to make sure that we reiterate to our people, when you're doing winter construction, it's a whole different ballgame than down south or in the summertime. You've got a lot more hazards to deal with. So we try to keep, and I'm sure Don is doing this with his folks, we're trying to keep that at the front of their mind when they're doing those, when they're building those plastic enclosures and they're heating the insides of those things. What are these guys breathing? Or for that matter, is it dangerous as far as flammability is concerned? So I see that. We're still chasing those. That'll start to tend to go away a little bit towards summer, but the silica won't, and we'll still have that. So the falls, the Focus 4, like Don says, those are always on top of the list. But we haven't heard a lot of that because of coronavirus, but that's still there. And OSHA will tell you the same thing.
Right. Yeah. And then maybe if coronavirus does get the industry to pay a little bit more attention to what people are breathing in, at least that's one of those silver linings to this cloud that people are always looking for. All right, guys. Well, I thought that was a great chat. Unless there's anything else you want to add, anything you don't think we covered, I think that's pretty much sums it up for us.
Yeah, Dan, I think you did a good job as far as covering a lot of what we're getting into. Don and I, those questions were right up on top, and we're going to continue. Obviously, you're never done. You're never done, and I've always said education is a key. And if I can make sure that every one of my workers in the field know what Don and I know, Don and I can retire. We don't need to be out there anymore because they know what we know. So it's funny, as a safety person, it's almost you're making your job obsolete because you're training everybody to know what you know and do what you would like them to do. And once they do that, we're sitting on a beach somewhere drinking a pina colada or something like that. So
it's not too bad.
That's really
worst
the key.
Worst fates.
You all know what we know.
All right, and that's a good thing. I think that allows Dan and I to sleep better at night. I always get a lot of guys and gals on the job site. Dan, what keeps you up at night? And I always say, you guys do and you gals do. It's making sure you go home safe at night. And the more they know, hey, I would love nothing better to be on a beach with Dan, drinking a beer and got a line in the water as you're looking at that and everybody being safe. That's that's the best of all worlds right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, great, guys. This is a really, really good discussion, and I appreciate your taking the time here. And what I know is a busy time for y'all. So we'll let you get back to your day jobs. But once again, we appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you again, Dan.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
All right. Talk to you guys
later. See you, Dan. All right.
Bye.
Thank you to Dan, and Don for the excellent discussion, and we hope you picked up some good tips and ideas for your future safety practices. Thank you again for attending our Hard Hat Safety Awards, and thank you again to our sponsors, including our gold sponsor, Hooper Corporation. Thank you also to our silver sponsors, JF Ahern and Cornerstone Construction, and thank you to our bronze sponsor today, Staff Electric. Have a safe rest of your day, and we're planning to see you again in person, fingers crossed, in 2022. Have a great day, everybody.